Everybody, welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. It is early. It is really early for me today. But I figured I would do a stream. I gotta leave in about hour and 40 minutes. So it is gross. The weather is gross today. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do some streaming and stuff. I gotta turn this up. Something happened to my volume. Something's going on with my stuff today. Don't know. There it is. Just on my. Sometimes we got so many different volume buttons, man. But on Final Fantasy 14, I'm still trying to get my Heaven's Ward accessed. So we had a patch, which was cool. All right. Oopsie, oopsie, oops. All right. Say. Okay. What? I always hate these, man. These emote ones. Picking up the sledge. Chat mode. And say enter the phrase containing Tataru to attach receptionist attention. Tataru. Tataru. Alright, hold on. Supposed to be a journal thing up here, I think. Hoping. Hunting log, challenge logs, journal, Tataru. Yep. I thought so. There we go. Some of these things, man. Sometimes you have to do some of the weirdest things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna minimize this. Jack, what's up? How you doing today? How you doing, Jack? How's it going, brother? How's DC? I did get. Hey, by the way, thanks for that heads up, dude. I did get my 210, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. How's 2000? So far, it's been interesting. It's been busy. I have a meeting next week, and or kind of like a seminar meeting to attend to. We'll see. We'll see. It's been a little crazy, man. 2018's been a little nuts so far. I think it's gonna get better. Where? Oh, there it is. I was like, what is going on here? It's a weird delay. I'm getting shocked. I gotta open this up just a little bit so I can see this. Yep, it's a shock. Got it that time. There we go. Looks good. How's 2019 treating you? How's that internship, by the way, brother? Hope it's going good for you. A lot of back and forth questing in this game. My only downside is some people like storylines, some people like story-driven games. I do like a good lore, and I like a good story at times. I don't like tedious. Why haven't I been live streaming DC? I haven't been able to play it with a clear conscience since Daybreak released like 70 people right before Christmas. It's nothing against the developers or the game. I love the game. I mean, I just feel like it's hard for me to support a company who didn't really, like, they could have fired them after Christmas. Is my point. Like they could have done it in a more timely manner, but they did it right before Christmas, and that doesn't. It's small decisions like that it's not. I could support a lot of things from a company. Like I could support a lot of, whatever. But when they 86'd 70 people, right before Christmas, it doesn't set well with me. As on a conscious level. It's like, why didn't you get rid of them in November? Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand Thanksgiving's kind of whatever, but at least it wouldn't have been right before Christmas. I haven't actually started my internship yet. It commences in 2 weeks on the 4th of February. Great. Awesome, dude. That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear, though. Good stuff, man. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Like, some of this stuff is just... There's a very good storyline behind a lot of this in the game, but it's a little tedious. It's a little bit drawn out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little more than has its fair share of whatever. Okay, supposed to be out here. I don't need to go to the Solace. But yeah, no, I'm happy for you. You get that, start that internship. That's good shit. Yeah, the decision wasn't fair. Right. And that was my problem. That's my issue. It wasn't like, oh, I don't. It's not like I didn't like the game. I loved what the devs did. I loved Atlantis. I loved the raid system. I like how you can be casual yet get serious about the game. There are so many things I really do appreciate about DC Universe online. I really do. There is not a lot of things that I can say bad about that game. Matter of fact, with a few twerks, and if they got enough money that to get a little bit more content in there, that game would blow away a lot of newer games. And I could say that it's always been smooth. It's always been well polished. It's just I still haven't been able to find a part-time job to earn some cash and experience. But I'm using my financial student aid to pay for my driving lessons. Oh, got you, brother. Got you. My one daughter is about a year and a half from going to college. She these are duties. Duties have to be these are solo duties. Part of the main storyline. What you got to do to progress. Okay, I'm gonna skip the cutscene. Let's get to the bread and butter. Come on. Are these PC games any fun? I'm currently trying out League of Legends. I prefer DCUO though. This game can be. It can be. I think it's more or less it's a preference thing, you know. I love the dungeons in this game. That's one thing I really like. I feel like if it wasn't for the dungeons in this game, I preferably would like to go back to DC. I mean, I know Elder Scrolls is saying they're upgrading their servers finally, which was due. If Elder Scrolls would get their act together, it would be probably the best MMO of all times. But unfortunately, sometimes you have greedy motherfuckers running the fucking show, and then instead of putting money in their reinvesting in their product, they try to squeeze fucking blood from a turnip. And instead they lose money. Piss poor management by fucking Zoss's shit. It's not the management. I'll take that back. It's the fucking board. At times you have to be conservative. I get that. I do. From a business perspective, I understand that. But when you're making money and you need to up your capability of performance, you do it. You do it. I've said it. Now they finally are doing it. But they really, for the longest time, should have been upgrading when it was needed. They should have been. I got to thank Zoss in the long run for being greedy. Because if they weren't so greedy, I wouldn't have tried to go back to DC. But DC's always been my go-to game. It always has been. It's been one of those games that I really always enjoyed going back to because of the combat. Because how smooth. Because the way they did the lore. But this is definitely a different element to a lot. I mean, MMOs always have an RPG element to it, a storyline. But how detailed the story gets depends on each product. In Final Fantasy, it is beautiful. It has the most it has maybe too much detail into the storyline. The lore is set. Every Final Fantasy has a different lore associated. But I really do like the online element because it's ever advancing the characters you become familiar with. It has a storyline that advances your primary storyline, which is linear. You're not in control. You have no choices in the route your story develops, which is kind of a little but at the same time, it's so well illustrated and executed. You can't help but to admire all the work and dedication and heart that goes into what they do. But to me, for a player like me, it's a little drawn out. I'm stating the facts. It's a little drawn out, but there's some definitely because sometimes Western players want to get to the meat and potatoes. Now, like I'm a big anime fan. I like Japanese anime. So I have an appreciation for also this type of detailing. I love like some of the artwork that's done in their games and their animations and a lot of things, man. The artwork is always well done in Japan. It's awesome actually. Vitality, yes, we're taking them at Vitality. DCUO though, I love DC. I really do. There's a lot of things about DC I really enjoy. I think I always will. And who knows? Maybe if one day I would go back to DC if they just apologize and say, "Hey, we fucked up. We owe an apology to the people we fired as far as our timing. They don't have to compensate them. I mean, I'm sure they were compensated. If not, unemployment sucks, but at least they're still getting paid. But just make it known. Take note of your mistakes is what I'm saying. Take note of your mistakes. Take personal responsibility, even from a company's perspective. That's good public relations to say, hey, you know what? We're sorry. We know our timing was really bad. We should have done it in a more, associated time. Yo, Russ, what's up? Morning, brother. That's all they had to do. That's it. That's all they had to do. But, of course, it was just like, yeah, I can't. The graphics in DCO could improve. But the graphics to me, like, they could remaster the graphics. Okay, but they need the staff to do it. So, like, literally, the graphics on my PC is great. It's a little cartoony, but it's not bad. It's better than World of Warcraft. People are still playing WoW. So, it's better than World of Warcraft. A lot better. But a lot of the things about DC, why am I think I went to the wrong port. Now I got to go to Limbs. Oh my god, I hate when I do this. But like the graphics, like let's say if they ported it over to find, it runs on Unreal, and it increased the graphics. Now I don't know if the Unreal Engine 3 was upgraded to the Unreal Engine 4, but if from my understanding, if they're still running Unreal Engine 3, from my understanding, it ported to their code ported to the 4. They could port it to the 4 and increase the graphics. They could. They could. I'm thinking of Crow's fighting style to be like Dante from Devil May Cry. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I think I gotta go maybe upstairs. Well, my daughter loved Devil May Cry. I thought it was alright for an anime. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, I'm a Inuyasha Full Metal like person myself. That's me. That's just my play style or my preferences. One major thing I hate about DCUO is his that rarely listen to what their fans say. It's like they're ignoring us. Well, I don't think that it's more or less like they're ignoring. It's their limitations. There's a major problem with their staff. They're on a skeleton staff. You know, practical application becomes kind of apparent. What they can do and what they can't. And he knows he can't kill Trigon, but he wants to make Trigon suffer. Oh, got you, Raven. Now you can pair hand blast with two hand. Yeah, there's a lot of things I really like about DC. I'll be honest with you guys. Like DC to me is one of those elements that I keep personally enjoying because like I said, I know they're short staffed. I know they are. Sometimes this is a maze. And I get that more than anybody. Like I know there are certain things that they want to implement. They just don't have enough people to do it sometimes. And some things they can't implement and some things they can. Like when I'm taking a look at it, I'm taking a look at it from the development standpoint, the staff, all those things associated. So, I mean, it can be rough. It can definitely be pretty rough here. I need to... No, I've already attuned to that. I need to find all these little attunement. I think that's either up or whatever. Oh, it is. It is. It is. It is. I knew it was going to be too. Hold on. All right. Now, I honestly feel like there's a lot of things going on, though. DC has shown that they're utilizing their talent, the talent that they have, very, very well. And that one thing can be said. It shows in the product. It really does have this. The devs on DCUO, and I'm going to give it up to everybody on that. The problem of it is with Daybreak. Daybreak needs to market, and they need to reinvest a little bit. Right now, that's their moneymaker. So they should be putting a lot more resources to bringing that game up. They're just focused on fixing glitches and problems with the game for players, but they lack the attention to help improve DCO according to each and every person. And his demon stance works more like a Devil Trigger and Devil May Cry. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I get it, but you have to understand, it's not it's not their devs. It's more or less saying what it is. It is literally the company saying, "Here's our budget for your project. Make do with it." And then you have another person saying, "Okay, well, here's our budget from the corporate office, and this is what we've got to come up with. And somehow we got to do that. We have to make it work." And it's like, okay, well, how do we do that? There's a lot of things going on. Like, literally, I sat down with like some individuals who don't really even understand. One person that I talked to thought that MMOs were developed by one person. Literally. I literally, and this man has got money. And I can't, let me say something for the record. I don't mind that everybody doesn't know everything. I don't know everything. But the one thing I don't do, and I would tell anybody, especially God with money, you do not make yourself ever sound less than somebody you're trying to do business with. You don't. You do not ever ask a dumb question without a dumb response. Because the way people are looking at you, you should have some... Hey, Hop, what's up? I'm echoing. You need to put your headset on.
All right, give me a second.
That phone echo sucks.
Hang on.
But you don't make yourself look dumb. Boy, dude, that is really annoying as fuck.
You hear me?
Yeah. Now it's better.
Right.
Okay, so I would it gets on people's nerves. Like when people's got money. Like, imagine yourself in a corporate position. You've never invested in an MMO, right? The first thing that you want to do, you don't want to assume fucking anything when it comes to an MMO or a business model, a business that you don't know shit about. You don't want to make a stupid statement, because then the person's like, I do not want to do business with you. It's like, right now, you're scaring the fuck out of me. I don't give a shit how much money you got. It's like, how much money do you think can make up for ignorance? Because the only thing you're going to keep asking me is questions upon questions, because you don't understand the business. It'll never work with your mentality. And if you're a smart person, the first thing you want to do is always do your homework. Dude, what are you doing?
My headset wire was on.
It was scratching. I was like, what is that sound?
My bad.
He represents Pride also, him and Raven's twins. Yeah. Well, there's a backstory to each of the, like, the sins in Trigon. They should do their research. Right. That's what they should be doing. Don't open your mouth if you've got money and sound stupid. Okay? I don't give a shit now how much money you have. You could be fucking Bill Gates, and I don't want to do business with you. I don't want to do business with you. I don't. Now I don't want to do business with you. I don't want to do any goddamn business with you because you opened your mouth and said something that you knew nothing about and assumed something. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Are you serious? Do you not? If I've especially if somebody has said how a business model runs because they have experience, you don't fucking act like you know better than a person who's been doing it. Like that's like me talking about, setting up, a huge server. I know it needs hardware. I know it needs this. I know it needs that. When it comes to how it's partitioned and how it's grid and how the configuration works on the scaling end, you keep it to the people who know better. You keep an open mind. You become affiliated with the people who understand the technology, and you take their recommendations. It's called a recommendation for a reason. And as a smart business person, you keep the cost with a cost associated with the recommendation. Yeah, and none are vacant, so I don't have meat for Crow's backstory. Oh, got you. I got to do something. Recruiting for the realm. I'm doing that recruiting thing, dude. Mission, shit, and more shit.
What?
I'm on that mission where I have to recruit for the realm.
I don't know.
But that's the problem with DC. It's not. I don't think it's DC's DC developers who are the problem. I feel like the problem of it is the marketing is bad. Like Hop here. Hop tried it, and he's like, "I like the combat. It's just not my. It's not my cup of tea for an MMO." Right, Hop? We were talking about that.
Yeah, it's a good game. I won't put it down or anything. It's just
it runs smooth though. It's well polished.
It's a smooth game. I like the fighting and everything. It's just
okay.
I like more like Dungeons and Dragons, like Wizards and
you're more fantasy type player.
Fantasy land than
right.
Superheroes. Don't get me wrong. I love superheroes and shit. I watch all the movies. It was a really good game. It's just not my cup of tea.
I feel like now Jack was talking about the graphics, and I think it was developed on the Unreal Engine 3 when it was first introduced. But given the fact that it's so polished, I feel the graphics are still better than World of Warcraft. What do you think when you logged in?
For
DC.
For DC? Oh, yeah. Clean. They're sharper. Yeah, definitely sharper.
I really thought, I mean, I know a lot of people want to talk about the graphics could improve. But I don't think the graphics are bad. Like,
they're not bad. They're not bad, no.
Like, I mean, I know it's not like whatever, but sometimes I don't feel like you should put in maybe too much because then you get that lesser, it's like everything's pushed in the graphics and not the content, It's like you have to take away something to gain something else sometimes when you're on a low staff.
And plus, you think about it, you're flying around over cities and everything. If they enhance the graphics, it would probably cause more lag.
Yeah, well, and I agree. There's an element there that has to be associated. Referencing Pride, there is an element of what has to be practical and accomplish. Like they can accomplish it. I'm more than positive that they have the staff that's capable of upgrading the graphics. The question of it is about resource right now for DC. Yeah. It's like their staff is really low budgeted, and what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you really going to do when you're on such a low end budget?
And that's why a lot of the MMOs like this aren't free.
Right. And, well, at first DC wasn't. But even the free play has limitations. So, which their microtransactions are well done. I mean, I see, maybe the loot boxes coming to an end in DC. But, honestly, I don't, because that's worldwide. It's becoming problematic for younger people to maybe form addiction habits and shit like that. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of really pros that DC Universe has. The combat's good. PvP needs one or two minor things. Nothing major. And a new playstyle. Once again, I'm not giving out freebies anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm just not doing it. I'm tired of, like, companies, you know, implementing what I say. It's not about the money. Let me get this out. It's not about the money for me. It's about the recognition. It is. At this point, it's like, you know what? I've been doing this for so goddamn long. I am tired of helping companies. For years, I did it without any hesitation to help my fellow gamer and to help the company succeed, because I wanted the companies to succeed. I didn't want to make a profit. I didn't want to make a dollar. I would go from alphas to this to that to do every goddamn thing I could for that company to help it succeed. That was ambition. That was the ambition behind the genre associated. Nothing more. Nothing more. But over time, it's like, oh yeah, Mystic was our alpha tester. Oh yeah, we know who Mystic Raven is. Oh yeah. And it's like, you know what, motherfuckers? I remember when you guys couldn't figure out how the fuck to increase your fucking shit over here. And who helped you out? Me? But, oh, it's just like, oh, Mystic Raven. No, fuck you guys. I'm done. And Zoss, that's why I'm pretty much done with ZeniMax. It's like, you know what? I told you guys to get server upgrades. I told you to do this. I told you to do that. But you know what? You want to keep highlighting dumbasses? Fuck you guys. I'm done, man. I'm fucking done. I'm done. Have at it. Have your favorites, and at the same time, still listening to me at the end of the day. Fuck you guys. That's all I have to say. And I was just done. I was done. I was like, figure it out yourselves, man. Good luck. Have fun with that. I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine without Mystic. Go ahead.
That's funny.
Have fun, motherfuckers. You know, there are certain things that I cannot deal with. And I'll just be honest, I can't. You know, you don't want to give me the rec? Fuck you. Fuck you guys. You're going to let little dumb fuckers who don't know shit about a fucking game, who really are the stars of your product, who are still dumb as fuck, run the roost because they're your you have favorable bias in what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shit. Like these people, you can't do it without them because they have so many, they're so popular. It's like they could be dumb as a log of wood, a stack of wood. And it's like, well, we have to highlight this person. 100,000 players watch him. Okay, good luck with that. And when you're begging to figure out what's not working, and when this dumb fucker tries to talk to you, I'm going to laugh my balls off. Because that's what happened. Like Outcast talking about the shield system when they were fucking, no, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, you didn't even know what spillover. Dude, that dude didn't even know what spillover was.
That dude's a fucking idiot, man.
Like, how in the fuck are you an MMOer? I mean, I get it. There's thousands of players. There's thousands of MMOers all across the world who don't get detailed. They're more casual. They're more whatever. But here, this dude's supposed to be hardcore. He's supposed to be this hardcore Elder Scrolls player, and he has no idea what spillover was. I'm like, I'm beside myself. I am beside myself. I am like, why? Dude, oh yeah, what the fuck, Hop? You know? Me and Hop here, and I don't mean to be toxic. Don't get me twisted. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm toxic. I'm in a little bit of an old school. Oh, there's that bitch.
I am towards him because I hate the fucking misleading info he puts on the web.
Well, I felt like, at least certain things got taken care of, like the best in slot and, certain things like that. That's been resolved. All things happen to those who wait, maybe. Oh. I don't mind the guy. He's talented. He's skilled. He's got good rotation. His rotation's solid. His content's good. A lot of times I like him as a player from what he does for the community as far as at least trying to get him through the content. So I
Yeah,
have
I'll give him that. He's good at putting builds together. I will give him that.
rotation. I mean, I think his recovery is probably the best in the game. That's probably the one element I don't give a fuck about his builds. I'll be honest. I feel like his builds are
Well,
nah.
just the way he puts them together.
Right, right. The layout, the bar layout, and the recovery. His recovery is what's amazing to me. His between the rotation, because what you see is like, you know how some people will start over on a mechanic through the rotation, and you'll lose the EPS because your dots have already been applied. So basically, reapplying your dots is basically just, taking, um, respending your magic or your stamina. And
Hmm.
this man, from point of mechanic, from the time he dropped off his rotation, picks back up from rotation point. And I have an appreciation for that, you know, personally. Like, when I can see that in a player, right? The what's being done. I knew they would eventually upgrade the servers. Yeah, they had to. But Ross, in all fairness, did I not call that out? How long ago did I call that out, Ross? How long ago? And
I've been saying it since day one, though.
right.
That game's been laggy since day one.
For its age, for being a new gen MMO, it should never, like, they should have done it when they introduced it to console. I understand that they were probably like needing their initial recovery back from their investment. I do get that, right? I get it. I get it. But one of the problems I have is literally like you made your money and then you sat. 2 expansions later, you sat chapters, you sat with with not implementing another fucking server. That's why I never gave up on ZOS like you did. I can't, but see, the thing is, I'm a type of player, I'll only repeat myself so many times. I'll only repeat myself so many times. ZOS, to me, just kept pissing me off with the PvP. They get rid of Roble. We were 50-50 on that issue. Yeah, no, I don't expect everybody to ever agree with me on a lot of things. I have no pride. I have no whatever. I can admit when I'm wrong, and I don't give a shit because we're human. Everybody's wrong at a time or two, you know? I have no problem with any of that. It's my Smith? What the fuck, man? Okay, whatever. That should be it. Limsalooza airship. I gotta go to the airship. But no, like I like the PVE in the game. Don't get me wrong. I feel like the PVE is strong. The lore is there. How they keep to the canon is amazing. Even with the new changes, I felt like there's a lot of things that ZeniMax, the devs at ZeniMax and Richard and them do. Getting rid of Roble though, so they put Brian in the driver's seat. Oh yeah, yeah. They put Brian in the. I agree, Ross. They put Brian in the driver's seat, which I'm fine with because Brian has been in the industry for a long time. Brian is a really good developer. But, he's like me. He's old school. He's a little bit more aged. And I feel like sometimes when we get to this point, we have a certain expectation of what needs to happen and what versus is what is happening and what we're actually seeing being coming out of what's being implemented. And that's delivery, right? Delivery sometimes is not what you anticipated from your conception, right? Because it has to be practical. What's going on in the coding and what's being applied to the community. So, there is definitely a lot of that. I think I got to go to Gridania. I wasn't trying to debate with you. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. Don't. I wasn't mad about that. Don't get me. I had something else going on. I hardly get mad about like intellectual debates, but like the servers, like I said, the servers have been an issue. And I'm an old school gamer, man. If I'm telling you, man, and I'm saying, God dang, these servers suck. Somebody could be like, oh, it's your hardware. Like Sherman, I love Sherman. I love Sherman. I love that man. His content's awesome. He's a great man. I love playing with him. But when he was, and he has understanding of tech, but like literally when he was talking about ISP or Wi-Fi, I'm like, no, 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 dude, no, 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 no. This is not ISP related. You know, trust you and me. I'm a giant nerd. I will go ahead. I will clock it, and not only clock it, I'll clock it on both spectrums between Wi-Fi, hardline. I'll also take a look at comparable speeds. There's a lot of things I get into when I'm looking at MMO performance, right? There's a lot of underlying issues. And when I notice the frame rate, and I'll check it in comparison to other products of the same caliber, you know, as far as graphical intensity, data's being pushed in, how much data I'm receiving, how much is going out, and my frames per second. So sometimes I don't even go by the clock. I go by, different data that's being assimilated at that time. And when I can get an assessment of what's going on, I can literally tell you what the fuck is going on with their hardware. And I'm like, it's server end. It's their server end. It's not any player. It's their end. And and I told Sherman that. I'm like, it's not the players. No, 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 no. It's ZOS. It is ZOS. And you know why it's ZOS? Because they're greedy as fuck. The board members were greedy. It had nothing to do with the fucking devs. It had nothing to do with the tech department. It had nothing to do with any of that shit. It had to do with fucking greedy motherfucking board members not wanting to fork out an extra million or $2 or $5 million to do the upgrade. And it does cost money. It does. You know, if they come in and say, we have this many players, we need to upgrade our servers by X amount, and it's going to cost us $5 million to do so, but you're making $100 million a year, guess what you do? Hop, what do?
You fix it, you get it.
If you're making $100 million and it's going to cost you $5 million to put back into your hardware, are you going to say no?
No, I'm gonna do it.
What the fuck? What the fuck, board? What the fuck?
Your game's not making any money if people stop playing it.
Right? You don't fuck with that shit. My grandpa ran a business. My relatives run and ran businesses. We'll just leave it at that. And the first thing my family teaches you is without a product, you offer no service. So if my grandfather ran a business, but he didn't have the products that the consumers wanted or needed, who is he servicing? Nobody. Yes, I'm apologizing for stirring you up in that DCO stream. No, it's fine. No, it's fine, dude. Like, literally, man, Roz, I do not take things personal, man. I am not a person that holds a grudges. Like, literally, dude, like, I've been in, like, physical confrontations with people and walked out, like literally, I'm used to, like, I was an amateur fighter there for a number of years, and I'd walk out of, a fight, and shaking, and even having one time I had a dinner with somebody I had a fight with after the fight. So literally, if that I don't hold personal grudges on anything. Like I don't have time to. Like like I said, I'm a man that just like if I don't mind debate, I don't mind confrontations, I don't mind it. I really don't. It's not who I am. It's not how I'm built. I'm built more like whatever. But I'm glad Zoss, regardless, I'm glad Zoss is getting the servers. I'm happy. I feel like poor Robo got a fucking. The poor man got screwed. I mean, I know some people were whatever. Like Hop here. We were talking like Elder Scrolls has good shit, but like Hop like tanking, and he's like, I'm tired of spamming one ability to taunt. Give me an AoE taunt, even if it's on a cooldown. Right, Hop?
Yeah, even if it's only like 3 people at a time, give me a fucking area taunt.
Or make it to
What
the point
MMO
where a
game
passive
is
for the
that?
shield increases threat generation. You know, for any attack.
Yeah. You know, if you're not gonna give me an area taunt, put in threat charts. Give me a threat meter so I can build up threat and be able to hold threat off of people.
Yeah,
That's the only MMO I've ever played that doesn't have 1, a fucking threat chart, and 2, an area taunt.
right.
It's like, are you serious? How am I supposed? Because tanking trash mobs is the most difficult thing to do in that game. If there's more than 5 people, you just can't hold aggro.
Yeah, no, that's fine, Ross. Like I said, man, don't beat yourself up about it. Like I said, the game's good, but like when you notice the little bugs and glitches, it's because of the performance. That's all I'm saying. Everybody can have whatever, but like my rig is not a small rig. I mean, I have 2 rigs. My one friend has a huge ass rig, and when he can't get quality of performance because, well, you have a little bit of a problem there. I mean, the dude's crossfired. He's got 32 gigs of RAM. He's running the new Zen processor. And fucking, I mean, dude, I'm like, it looks dull. And when he's lagging on Elder Scrolls, I'm like, oh, God. And he's like, there's no fucking goddamn way. I'm like, And then when people talk like they know, and we're nerds. We've been doing this since like when DOS was still, when we had SD RAM before DDR, when we were running SD configurations, and we went from dial-up to coax to satellite to seeing fiber optic performance. Even in Wi-Fi, when we've seen the different speeds and elements that are associated with speeds, and we know it's not it's like you can have X amount of speed, but your performance is only going to be dictated so much by this other element. Like I could have the top speed, but if I don't have the GPU to push out the processing power, it's pointless. I'm playing Neverwinter for a while right now. Yeah, it's a good break. I think ZeniMax will get it fixed finally. Finally, they will. Finally, but let this be a lesson learned to all the other companies. I understand you have a tight budget in development. I understand that you have restrictions but when you start making god dang money, you don't fucking put off something that crucial. You are an MMO. You're not whatever. 1 second. Could be a telemarketer. They call pretty early. Yes. You don't put off on hardware. You don't. You don't. No. Hardware you never put off on. You don't. That is the blood, the lifeblood of your company. Believe that. Some people would be like, it's the devs. No, the devs are a part of it. But without fucking the hardware to support the infrastructure, you're fucked. You don't fuck with it. No. You just say, all right, we're not going to screw with this. We're going to put in money. Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. Don't get greedy, man. It's just that simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You make $100 million a year, hypothetically, and one of your developers come in, or your technicians come in, your server engineer, your technician, whoever, and it's like, well, everybody's complaining about performance. Well, it's true. We have performance issues. Well, yeah, a lot of men do in the world. No, but. But once you get that established, once you've understand, okay, there is a performance issue and we need to do something about it. You do something about it. It's just that simple. You just do something. Doesn't have to be anything more than that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. But let this also be a lesson to every other content creator. Don't fucking question. Fuck, if I tell you it's fucking hardware, don't fucking question me, goddammit. You can debate with me, but don't question it. We can debate like where it's happening. That's fine. But because there's a lot of different elements that could be associated. I agree with that. I do. That's debatable. That is a debatable. That's arguable. I didn't get my free race change yet. When will I get it?
It's level 50.
Oh, you
After
get your
complete
free.
the,
You get your free race change if they're going to implement the free race change for. Let's talk about Elder Scrolls.
oh,
Yeah, when they what I'm going to tell you is when they implement it is probably when you'll see it happen. When they implement the changes, is when you'll see the race change token, the free one. But if you're only getting one, imagine all the alts that are associated. You know, to me, when I was taking a look, like I said, when I took a look at it, I thought it was shady shit. I was like, this looks shady as a motherfucker. This doesn't look like, you know, lining things up. It looks like something. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, but hey man, whatever. People can believe what they want to believe. Lead sheep to the slaughter. Why am I not? Oh, that's right, because I'm on the other level. I hate when the map does that. So yeah, that's when when the map minimizes and doesn't stretch out because you're on the other level of the Ul'dah. Like, fuck.
Oh, I hate Ul'dah.
Dude,
Steps of Ul'dah. I hate that place. That map is so confusing.
Well, navigating the levels is sometimes a pain when you're doing quest.
Yeah, I like New Grand.
You're changing
New
your
Grande
blade?
or whatever. Gardenia, whatever. I like
Gridania?
that place. Yeah, Gridania. I love that map.
See, I could pronounce
So
that
much.
one. To Argonian, you're going Argonian. I don't think a lot of people would blame you. That's another thing. Like, there's a lot of things I don't mind about Elder Scrolls. I played it for 3 years. One of my favorite MMOs ever, for a lot of reasons. But, and it is. I can say that. I could say, well, what's your favorite MMO? Elder Scrolls. You know, for sure. So I don't completely hate on the game. There's always going to be elements that I hate about companies. I'll tell you what. If ZOS did what Daybreak did and fucking fired 70 people before Christmas, I would fucking make it my life's purpose to fucking make sure they never see the fucking, like, they get boycotted. Daybreak's I don't like what Daybreak did, but I wouldn't condemn the entire company because they're under financial duress. You know, they really are. But ZeniMax, I'll tell you what, if they pulled that bullshit, knowing, and I know what damn well that they could have waited 2 weeks and they could afford it to wait 2 weeks, I would make it my purpose to make sure they got fucking boycotted as much as possible, humanly possible. It may not work, but it would be my life mission. I do not like greedy boards. I like smart board members. I like board members who are business oriented, who think bottom line, keep them paying, keep them playing, and keep them what, Hop? If they keep playing, then what are they doing?
They're putting money in your
They're
pocket.
keep paying. Keep them playing and keep them paying. I like smart business people. I don't like dumb motherfuckers who are fucking greedy, who are there just for the cash grabs. That's not smart. That's reckless. Keep the fuck away from me.
Right? That's like if you own a bar and one of your big time customer that's always there asks if you can start carrying a certain kind of beer. You gonna tell them no?
Right. Yes. Right.
No. Okay, yeah, I'll start getting it. Give me a couple of days until we get stocked up. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna go and buy like a huge stockpile of it if he's the only one that's gonna be drinking it. But yeah, I'll carry a couple cases so when he comes in.
Right, because you don't want to like lose money to do it, but at the same
No.
time, if he's putting money in and you're making a profit, why wouldn't you accommodate your consumer?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck, man? Business 101. You know, like my problem around here isn't the element of Business 101 more or less than under the people who don't understand trickle economics. And it's like, wow. And they're like, why do we want to do it? I'm like, it reverts back to trickle economics. In what way? And I'm like, listen, man, if I have to tell you who you are, knowing who you are, not you, Hop, but these individuals, knowing who you are, if I have to explain trickle economics, we got problems now. I have problems now. If I have to, explain how the how this reverts back to the trickle effect, I got problems now with you. I've got major problems. I'm not here holding people your hand. You make 100 times more a year than I do. I'm not here to hold your fucking hand. Excuse my fucking French. You are if you're richer than me, I have a higher expectation for your capacity. Honestly, I feel rich people are the weak link in our society. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people who have money are innovating. They are professional exploiters. They exploit the labors of others to gain a profit. Right or wrong, Hop?
Oh no, you're right. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
there's another creature who does that, who latches on to feed off of other people. You know what that creature is? I know. You know what that creature is?
Succubus.
It's a fucking leech.
Leech, succubus, parasite, it's all the same thing.
It's a fucking leech.
Yeah. Same difference. Same name, different word. Same thing.
Like I told my brother one time, I was like, if I had a miracle cure of something, or a technical feat to ever change the development of mankind for the better, I'm like, you think I would give it? No, because somebody would exploit what I'm doing to make a profit, and their offspring and their offspring and their offspring well after would live in perfect comfort off of my ingenuity. Not me, them. No, fuck you guys. Fuck you. I believe hard work is a necessity in life. Don't get me wrong. I feel like people need to work hard. There are people who need to run a business. I get that, but you don't capitalize grossly off of other people's accomplishments. That is fucking gross. It's weak ass fucking bullshit is what it is.
Take credit for somebody else's work. That's fucked up.
Yeah. They're the weakest links on the fucking totem pole.
Oh yeah.
Fucking some rich people you put them in the middle of a fucking forest, a dense forest, and let's see how well they survive. Now, my one friend who's got money, he would, because that's what he does for a living.
I'd give him what, 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah, with nothing. They don't get like, oh, where do I get rations? No, motherfucker. Survive.
Well, no, I say 4 to 5 days. Because
do I get clean drinking water? No, motherfucker. Body. Figure it out.
Well, 4 or 5 days is how long a human can survive without water. Yeah. So that's why I'd give him at least 4 or 5 days. even if they curl up in a fetal position and just lay there, they'll still survive 4
Let's
to
see
5
how well.
days.
Let's
So.
see how well you do, because the law of survival of the fittest somehow skipped an entire fucking species.
Oh, you put me out in the woods, I'd survive. I
Yeah.
know how to hunt.
No, that's not
I
what
know
I'm
how to
saying.
track.
Like the top dogs aren't the people who can do.
No,
It's the people
no.
who, latch on. So,
Yeah, I was taught how to hunt and track and skin and all that shit, how to find water. I could survive. Not saying I want to get on that show Naked and Afraid. I wouldn't want to be naked, but
my
I think I
dad,
could.
like, the funny thing about it was, like, I was young. I grew up in a rural area, and then I lived in, like, the city, like, a little bit later. And it was funny because my dad is this big hunter type person, like, big time, into hunting and all that other shit. And he used to take me. I learned how to shoot when I was 6 years old, a gun. So, and of course, I learned different firearms as I got older. And then on top of it, my dad would take me to survival things that was always going on, like how to survive in these conditions, how to survive in these conditions, how to survive in these conditions, how to look out for this, what to do that, looking out for like different routes and different all this shit. And I kind of didn't appreciate any of it when I was younger. I always felt like, why? I have no interest in any of this, right? None of it. But he did it never, regardless. And now I'm kind of grateful because I'm more of a tech. I am more nerdy and techy in a lot of ways, but at least I have the understanding of if something was to occur, how to make use of that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that is the important element in life, that we become associated and understand how to do the basics in any fundamental. Because if survival was hinged upon that, right? If it was determining our capability to live and die, we should have that knowledge, you know? Now, I feel like certain things are instinctive, but other things are not built instinctively. So you have to have knowledge. And if knowledge is power, it would also make, like, even the forgotten knowledge, the simplistic, like my kids don't give a shit. That's some really serious stamina regen right there, along with some health and magicka regen and instant invisibility. Yeah, with fucking Argonian, yeah, Nightblade. I have an Argonian Nightblade. That's why I like Argonian as well. I mean, but Argonian is a little OP. I felt like they should have got a little bit more of a nerf bat, but whatever. Mordaunt again. God, man, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Most of your time you'll do this, so it's a lot of time when we're doing storylines. Me and Hop will just come in here and bullshit. Which proc Shadow Walker for more stamina and health regen? Right? Yeah, no, that's badass, Roz. That is badass. Especially like you said. I mean, it's good support, good tanking. Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of people killing you with that setup. Yeah, that's pretty beastly.
I'm actually pretty proud of myself in this game right now. I've got my summoner to the point where I'm pulling aggro
Did
off
you get
his
your
bosses
70 last night?
Yeah, I hit 70. Yeah,
Did you? Grats, man. Grats.
thank you. I got it. I'm stuck at a
Do you
main
know? You know
scenario
what the top gear
dungeon.
score is? 365 currently in
No,
this
it's higher
game.
than that.
You
No, it's
sure?
higher than that. Yeah, it's higher than that. Way higher than that. Because the highest item level you can get right now on a piece of gear is like 415 or 410
Well,
or
I mean
some
that would
shit
be
like
top.
that.
If it's 410, that's the base. My build needs the nerf bat. Does it? Now some builds do, man. Don't get me wrong. I love Elder Scrolls. I'll say this, Roz. I love Elder Scrolls. I always will. There's a fun, nostalgic element for me personally with Elder Scrolls Online. So I'm not going to disregard what ZOS brought to the table, nor what the devs worked hard to accomplish. So I'm not trying to belittle anybody or the player base who enjoys Elder Scrolls. There's a lot to enjoy in Elder Scrolls. But like I said, I mean, it comes back to just the common sense because it's a friggin' troll. It comes back to the common sense. It comes back to, smart business decisions, and making, and like, if you're going to exploit the labor of those around you, right? At least be smart about it and at least put back into the community. I know a lot of people find that to be whatever. I am a humanitarian above all things. Like, I don't feel like if, like, I had money, why, like, I kind of have the belief of, like, what Tupac has. Like, no matter how rich you are, why do I need 2 houses? Why do I need 4 houses? Why do I need 20 cars? Am I driving every one of these motherfuckers consistently? There's $100,000 that could have taken care of families for an entire fucking year for my little ride, right? There's a house, $1 million house that could have put 100 people or 1,000 people in homes that maybe are like maybe 500 people in homes that didn't have it. I'm like, come on, seriously, man, seriously, is it how much? And then people were like, well, they earned it. They didn't earn shit. That's the problem. And I can tell you that from experience. I have family that has money. I have certain family who never knew what it was to earn a fucking dime. They were born into money, and they were taught how to use money to get more money. Was it earned? There was no earning. What'd they earn? And while they're getting richer, right? And while they're sustaining their families and everything is sustaining the power, which is an illusion, or keeping in control, I should say, more or less, everybody else around them is meant to suffer. Boy, life seems fair. That's why I said I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't. One day I'm going to meet my maker and I'll be like, do with me what you will. If you want to send me, you can't send me to hell because I just came from there. So wherever I'm going is better than where I was. Because Shadow Walker and Cloak Nightblade tank that Argonian's running in BizPots has broken. Yeah, it's OP as hell, right? Yeah, nobody, like, when I meet my maker, I literally, if my maker was to say you're going to hell, I'm like, it's got to be better than this. You can't send me there. He's like, well, you can send me there, but you're not calling it hell. I would even debate with E. Why? Because you already had me in hell. You already had me there for 40, 60 years. You had me there. When you had, where was the equality when you needed it? It wasn't there. Fuck no, it wasn't. Don't tell me it wasn't. It wasn't there. There was no fucking equality. People chasing for equality, like equal rights and equal this. You honestly think you're ever going to get equality in this world? No, you're never getting equality. You better give that fucking pipe dream up. Here's my advice to you. Be happy for what you have. Be happy with it. Make the most of what you got. And during adversity, survive. And have adversity. No matter what comes in your direction, make it work. You don't have to have, I don't have to have a Beamer to survive. I don't have to have an X amount of large space to be surviving. So any little thing I get is a blessing. And when you take a look at that and you're humble and you're happy with even the littlest things in life, right? It just makes it that much sweeter and makes you understand that a lot of the stuff is trivial bullshit that you didn't need. That it's irrelevant. Like if my PC broke down, I couldn't afford to get a new PC. So what? So what? What's more important, food in my tummy? Yo, Mars, what's up, dude? How you doing? What's more important, food to survive, or replacing a rig? You mean priority, man. It's all about priority at the end of the day, guys. And I feel like the people, like when I saw a relative of mine, now I have a couple, very few, but a few relatives that were very wealthy. And one of my relatives, like, I didn't talk to a lot, right? And he, like, he had this disposition to think he was better, right? And you get that. You get that. People who get that. Personally, I don't care because I was raised with the element of saying it's about family. It's always about family. At the end of the day, we do for each other, no matter what. No matter what. Well, because you thought you were better, now he got sick, but his wife left him. His kids stopped talking to him. He had everything a man would want in material possessions, but he had nobody there, really, to comfort him in an end of his days. And that man died a miserable bastard. And not all the money in the fucking world could buy him happiness. Because you can't place happiness with fucking cars and clothes and fancy bullshit. That's not how happiness works. Sure, you might think you're happy. Sure, you might, but it becomes, it loses its flavor. Like the wine, there's a part of the Bible that says, you know, when the meat has no flavor, or the meat has no taste, the wine loses its flavor. There's some reference to that. And it's basically referencing, like, when you do something too much, you don't, it doesn't do anything for you anymore. And that's what money does, right? You're substituting happiness with everything but. And at the end, you realize there's no substance to it. It lost its flavor. It lost its appeal a long time ago, right? And you threw away everything that really did matter for shit that never didn't mean two shits. And in the end, you die miserable. You die miserable, motherfuckers. Because your morals were fucking set against you. Like T.I. said, unhappy with your riches because you're piss poor morally. You know, you have to go back to it. You do not, and it's hard because when you have money, you always wonder, do people like me for who I am? Or do they like me just because I have money? And that's real. That's real.
Oh yeah.
That's a real outlook. So I'm glad I was raised in a house where I was poor. I'm happy that I got to understand business from my family without having to really, you know, say, oh my God. Like my grandfather, he had money. He had it. He wasn't rich. I consider him wealthy. Like, you know, like his life was enriched, but he wasn't like a millionaire or anything. You know, he was a smart businessman. You know, he was able to put food on the table, have a little extra money in the bank, and buy one or two things like he would want and be able to support his family. And that's what, at the end of the day, what it meant to him. Like, it doesn't matter how much money I have to take care of mine. I have to take care of mine. And if I have extra, I help my community. He was a big person who did fundraisers. He believed in fundraising. He believed in giving to the community, building the community up. I learned a lot from this man. And he's like, listen, man, it means nothing. All the success in the world means nothing if you can't take the people around you with you. He's like, and that's what you do. He's like, you build up your community. You build up society. That's the goal. He's like, what can everything in this world give one person if everybody else is suffering in the process? It's not going to mean two shits. And I think we lose it to that day because everybody's scared. When you have money, the one thing you get afraid of is losing control, because your control is associated with money. That's what it is. But power is an illusion that cannot be controlled, because everybody's like, well, knowledge is power. Well, last time I checked, money buys that knowledge, right? It's associated. When you're paying you're paying the bills, you're buying the knowledge. Hence, you're acquiring the power. But at the end of the day, we all share the same fate. So who has the power? Not a man. I can guarantee you that. I'm not trying to get philosophical today or whatever, but I'm trying to speak on some real shit. Like, you're not ever going to control, you're never going to have the power. I'm going to use my free race change token, change my blade into an Argonian Mars. Yeah. Well, I felt like Argonian still hasn't gotten nerfed enough. But it's amazing, I'm humbled by my upbringing, and especially seeing family members go through that suffering. What kind of mic are you using? I got a Logitech. I changed up to a Logitech mic. Does it sound okay? I was listening to my stream last night. It sounded fine. So I don't know. I hope it's working out. But I switched up to a Logitech gaming. It's a gaming headset. It's not one of the cheap ones. It's like one of the more expensive ones. Sometimes you get what you pay for. I got to pick her up at 11:30, honey. Okay. Well, you came in here, Bart. No, I know. But yeah. So, I definitely, like my wife. My wife definitely, she just came in here, and it was funny because she was talking about some people. Well, it was a long time ago. Some people will never know what it's like because they always had a form of, resources where other people never had initial resources. So the people who are trying to do something with their lives will always be put in the gutter, and the people who have initial resources will at least be able to establish themselves. Sounds good? I'm sorry. My wife never shut my door. My daughter's screaming. All the kids are home. There's everybody. The weather's gross here. Oh my god. It gets nuts. Mars, man, I'm really enjoying this game, man. Well, I don't like the questing so much. I'll be honest, I'm not a big quester. But the dungeons, jeez, Mateesus. And I love the environment. Logitech makes some good mics, just don't last long. This better last longer than dude, I had a Turtle Beach that didn't even last 2 weeks. I had a Turtle Beach that didn't last 2 weeks. This gotta last longer than that. This was an expensive one too. It wasn't one of those little cheapies. So it was one of their gaming ones. So oh, wrong button.
I don't even know if those are gonna sell. I don't know.
Is this take for PvP or PvE, Ross? His is a PvP, Mars. I want to say it's a PvP tank. Yeah. Yep. PvP, bitch. PvP. Yep. He's using the Shadow Walker. It's pretty gross. I mean, seriously, that is gross. Fuck, I'd be all... I would use that Shadow Walker with fucking like a debuff set. I imagine it'd be hard to kill you, for sure. We're skipping the cutscene on this. I'll need to be keep. Ugh. If you want to play and watch the cutscenes, be at it.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm stuck in the story mode right now. I got the quest I'm on. I got to do a dungeon, but I can't go into the dungeon until my item level's 300.
Yeah. You're always gonna have that. Yeah.
I think I'm at 289, something like that.
Yeah, I bought Logitech mics for $15 a while back. Great sound quality and really good. Yeah, no, this is a $70 headset. This is the Logitech Pro something.
Fuck, I've had my Turtle Beach headset for 3-4 years now.
Like, I ended up getting this headset has detachable parts. So if my mic goes bad, I detach it, buy a new mic. If my amp goes bad, I take it out, replace the amp. So you can buy all the extra, and like the earpieces come out, I can replace the earpieces. So
nice.
Yeah. Like this whole headset's got replaceable parts.
That's pretty cool.
I thought that's kind of what drew me into it, to be honest with you. I was like, I'm tired of replacing headsets when one part goes bad. And that's usually what it's associated to. And Logitech has this fucking headset that is replaceable. Like, all the parts, just unplug, you buy it, replace. I was like, slick. I'm done. I'm in. You don't have to tell me twice. Why keep spending so much money? You know? That to me makes no sense. Boy, these storylines could be so drawn out.
What? Did they put a cap on how many of those I can get in a week?
I'm just going to fast travel.
Can I only get 450 of those tokens a week?
For the dailies?
No, the pink, go into your currency and go to battle.
Oh, yeah, the raid ones have a limit, I think.
It's not a raid one yet.
Oh, you don't have the raid currency?
No, I can't get into raids. My item level's not high enough.
I think raids are weekly, too, I want to say, like traditional.
But if you go, it's the Olagon Tombstone of Genocide.
Yeah. I was actually just watching a guy play a really tanky Nightblade tank. It was old gameplay, but still very well put together and fun to watch. Yeah, there's a lot of cool elements. Like I said, Elder Scrolls will always be my favorite in a lot of ways. Like, I think one day I'm going to talk about PvP in this game, and I got to leave in like 15 minutes. One day I will go. Voice acting is good in this game, by the way. I just don't have the patience. I'm still trying to get to Evans Ward. I'm still trying to fuck with this. Like I said, sometimes the storylines are just... It feels so solo at times, this game does. And that's another thing. Like, at times you don't really realize you're playing an MMO until you're doing dungeons or you're, out harvesting or you're doing events or you're doing fates. And there's a lot of the MMO elements that are associated, that are present. But in its initial conception, a lot of the gameplay still is solo-based, the progression. So I feel like that's probably one of the... It's a good thing for the story, but it's a bad thing for the community. But then they picked up... Like, I felt like this is where the game's picked up, where it really is pushing out MMO interactions for the community between the chats, trade, pugging. I don't think DCUO has the best pug system ever. Okay, but this game comes in probably a good second for the pug. My problem, DCUO, why is it the better pug system? Multiple queues. The problem in my game with my problem with this game is limited queuing. You can only queue for one thing at a time.
No, you can't. You can queue for 5.
If I'm in there, I can't queue all of them, like PvP and stuff.
PvP might be 1 at a time, but no.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, PvP is 1 at a time. Okay, yeah, you're right there. Dungeons you can have 5.
Right. Head.
The roulettes you can only have 1 though.
Every one of these headpieces are different. God dang it! Oh, that's a pug in a row. That's a lancer. Oh, there it is. There's my new headpiece.
Oh, I don't want to do this dungeon again. I've already done it 4 times today. It's the only one that drops the marks that I need, though.
What the fuck? Okay.
That one drops them too, but that one sucks. That place sucks so bad.
Okay, I'm going to equip this, and then I'm going to update gear. You can mog things later, heads up. Some things have a better look to them than others.
I don't know how to do that, though. I think you have to buy something for it.
The mog crystals.
Is that what they're called, mog crystals?
Or something like that. There's like, yeah, something. I have to take a look at it. Like, roulette-wise. Once I hit a roulette, one roulette, all of them black out.
It's a glamour prism.
See? This is why this is the problem with the PvP. I'm not going to lie to you. 2 reasons PvP is not working in this game. It's isolated server, right? And limited queue selection. See? Once I hit my queue, I'm blocked out. They have a lot of different elements of the PvP in this game. But when you isolate the queue and you isolate the server, what do you anticipate is going to happen? What do you think's happening? You're bottlenecking yourself intentionally. It's like, that to me is not smart. It's not smart to PvP. You open up the servers, your instance base. You open up a bridge node or a bridge area in the within the server, depending on the configuration of the server. But what I'm saying, and then the bridge, you bridge the individual servers to the PvP instance based on specifications like feast. You're going to go feast. This is the feast you're doing. Okay. People are queuing in. Every server hubs. Rift did this. Rift cross-platform, cross-played all servers to PvP. PvP was not isolated. I think at one time it was, but it was not isolated to one server. All servers PvP'd against each other. You could be on teams with different server members. You could be against each other, and you could multi-queue. It kept PvP queue times high. It kept it really high so players could get into PvP, in and out of PvP more efficiently. And you have to do that. You have to. No matter how good your PvP is, if players aren't playing it, right? If people aren't queuing it, people aren't playing it. So you need to increase the queue, man. I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? You know? Common sense. Common sense. Common sense. Anyways, man, yeah, I got to get going here. But Mars, thank you for stopping in. If you guys don't know who Mars is, oh, you better be checking this man out, especially if you're Elder Scrolls players. PvP here. Telling you. Hint, hint. Ross, thank you for stopping in. Jack, thank you for stopping in. I hope everything goes good today. Your Sork is both PvE and PvP. Yeah, there's a lot of things like me and Hop was saying, it would be badass if Elder Scrolls learned one or two little things from this game where you could at least save your builds and pop open your builds. Not to say that it has to be exact like this game where you have access to every class on one character, But to be able to open your builds up between PvP and PvE and going from maybe tank to healer or DPS would be cool.
Right, give me two different loadouts. Give me
Right,
two or three loadouts,
right, right,
so I don't
right,
have to
right. Like
keep.
DC
I mean,
does that, and that's why I love DC. DC I can do
I
in
like the
combat.
I
It's
like the
like,
fact that you can go and reset one or two skills at a time, but you're still charged the full price to redo your skills. You know,
right, right.
let me set up two loadouts, and I won't have to fuck with my skills again. And if I do fuck with my skills, if I only change one skill out, don't charge me $15,000. Charge me $100, 100
Right.
gold per skill. You know, if I do the whole skill chart, yeah, okay, charge me full price. If I'm only doing one or two skills, charge me 100 gold each. Not 15 grand to change out two skills. I mean, it was a good idea, but they did it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, and there's certain things that everything can get improved on in any game.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, they tried. They're getting in the right direction. It's just
Neverwinter
they should
does
have
that
did that a
too.
little better.
Yeah.
Neverwinter's trash. That's such a hardcore pay to win. If you're not grinding your ass off or dropping tons of money into
Yeah.
that game, you fall behind so
I
fast.
like I like the combat. I like the dungeons. I like the content in Neverwinter. But I agree.
Oh, it's
The
amazing.
the
It's
item
fantastic.
the
It's an
item
amazing
shop
game.
is it. I understand there's a free to play element. At least like they're not limiting their DLCs to like to buy in certain elements. Like you have more accessibility in that game than most in your gameplay, which I'm not opposed against. But I feel like the item shop could carry way more different elements to enhance the player experience versus saying, "Oh, hey, do you guys want an instant ticket here? Just buy it." You know, it's like
It's
what's the
free.
point of playing the game if I can just buy it?
Exactly.
Like
But
that.
the reason it's go ahead.
No, I mean there's no point of having content in a game if it's just like, hey, guess what? You can play this game and you can acquire this stuff in game, but guess what? You shouldn't have to fucking do anything. Why don't we just let you pay for it and you get a free ticket? What's that teaching our kids?
Mm-hmm.
Money buys everything.
Yep.
You
Yep.
don't work for it. Don't you no you don't work for it. Don't work for anything.
And that's all Neverwinter applies. It's either you start off, it's either grind your ass off to get up to where you gotta be, or drop a couple $100 in the game and be there in a day.
Yeah, we already know about the Astro Diamonds. Yeah, we're aware. We both was playing it at the same time. We're aware of how it goes. We're aware.
I bought that game when it came out. I paid the $20 to get the 2 week early
Oh yeah,
access.
same here.
I had a level 60 character before the game was released. Within a month, I had people surpass my item level and leave me in the dust because they just kept dropping hundreds of dollars into that game to upgrade their shit.
Right.
And I quit playing the game. I stopped right after Castle Never came out. That's how long it's been since I played. Because I thought that was bullshit. Because I'm a grinder. I don't care. You know, I'll get it and I'll go in there and get it done. I'll do it. That doesn't bother me. But for someone to go ahead and just drop hundreds of dollars in a game and surpass me and only be playing for a week, no, fuck that. That's bullshit.
Right. There is definitely, the problem only with Neverwinter. The only problem with Neverwinter, they put too much emphasis on pay to win.
Pay to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the content. The content's good. We like the gameplay. We like the content. The only reason I don't cover Neverwinter is because what's the point of doing any content in the game? I like that of Neverwinter though. Do you? I hate it, and a lot of people do. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't. I can't even cover the content because only thing I would say, like, if I was covering content, I'd be like, yeah, you could do these, but guess what? Don't bother. Just open up the item shop and drop $40 here. And now you've just skipped this whole content. Don't worry about it. You can thank me tomorrow. By the way, subscribe and pay me money for showing you how to spend money in this game and blow your wallet. You know? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. And Cryptic's great developers. They are. I like Cryptic. I really do. I like the devs at Cryptic. They've always been really good to me. I have nothing negative to say about any of them. But the way the business models ran, it's a free to play game, but it's not like Fortnite. Fortnite's all about just like fucking cosmetics. Could you imagine like playing Fortnite and saying, "Hey, drop $100 and we're gonna give you this uber fucking rifle," and then all of a sudden, all these players who just play, all of a sudden get annihilated by $100 fucking rifle that can be bought. But guess what? If you ain't got the $100, guess what? Get ready to get pwned, bitches.
Yep, you're not gonna win another game the rest of the fucking time you play the game unless you drop $100 in it and match his shit.
Match his shit, right? Like that gameplay doesn't succeed. That model doesn't succeed. It will always push away your loyal players.
Yep.
It will always push away loyal players.
If they would have left Neverwinter as the initial $20 to buy it and then to pay to just for fluff and cosmetic shit, I would probably still be playing Neverwinter.
I think I'm getting a business call from California, but I'll have to take it later.
I do love the game. I don't like the fact that people could cheat their way out of it. Basically, you know, I don't feel like grinding, so I'm just gonna drop money into it and surpass people that have been playing for months and years.
Right. You don't do that.
No,
you do not do that. You know, you don't do it. Just don't do it. There's ways to make money. There's a billion ways to make money. 100 million ways one.
if that's really what you want to drop your money, because I know people that drop thousands of dollars into ESO too, and all it is fluff.
It's fluff, like, right?
You know, I mean, I could do it too, but why? You know, I'm not gonna drop that much money.
I want companies to make money, because when they make money, the game stays. You know, yeah. I want companies to make money.
No, I used to drop money in ESO back before when they had the original mount system where they would implement new mounts every month that you could buy outright.
Right.
Until they started putting them in that fucking mystery box, I stopped dropping money into that game. No, I'm not going to drop $1,500 into this game just to get a bunch of crown gems now to get a fucking mount. No, that's fuck you. Put the market back up. Let me buy the mount that I want to buy for $40, and I would have still been putting money into that game and buying mounts because I love buying mounts. But no, don't put it on a fucking mystery box. No, fuck that. That's stupid. You know, it's just them getting greedy. You know, they weren't making enough money, so they wanted to be greedy about it. So that's why they put it up in a mystery box.
Some places have to, you know, use different microtransactions to establish more currency, you know, because of the way the business model, the population to the income generated. So there is some association with the element of the business model. But once again, you have to be a little precarious when it comes to, you know, implementation. Why? Because by trying to get more money from the players, I always tell people, why am I going to spend, if I had $1 million and my game's dying, right? And that's kept separate from my budget, my, you know, overhead, my associated costs, you know, of my liabilities, my other liabilities. And I need to get into the black, and I have $1 million left to assess where this $1 million has to be allocated. I have to think a little bit more carefully in implementing smart strategic to gain more revenue, right? And there is association with that. There is a very, you know, meticulous way of getting more bang for your buck, you know, to type scenario. Because if you do it wrong, you're fucking yourself at the end. And sometimes people put a lot more money into implementing more microtransactions than marketing their product efficiently. I could put more money into my product, but if I'm not getting more players into the product, what's the point of spending that $1 million into implementing more fluff or more features in microtransactions when there's no players there to purchase them. So you have to understand the association that has to occur in order to gain more revenue to keep uh, the game running. Everything costs. Everybody works for a living, and developers are no different. The associated costs to pay the electric bills and to run the servers and all of these things, it all costs money. So money does make the world go round, regardless of what I would even like to think. But it is the way of the world. And because of that, we have to understand that there has to be people in. I'm not talking about greedy. Once again, there's a difference between greedy and proper business, etiquette. And once you get somebody who understands to say, hey, you know what, I need to make more money. We need to do this. But anyways, I got to get going, guys. I'm going to cut this stream. Ross, thank you for stopping in. Everybody go check out Mars. Mars, thank you once again. I appreciate it. Very quest-driven, as you guys can see. This game is very quest-driven. I could sit here, play it like a movie. And if you like storyline, this is one of the best games for that. Not my favorite feature, but at the same time,
don't let that deter you.
Don't let it deter you. But once you get past this, the dungeon play is the best. I'll say it. It's the best. It's the best. The dungeon play. Yeah. Elder Scrolls can't touch this. Wow, World of Warcraft is not touching these dungeons.
Oh, no way. There's no other game that I've played MMO-wise that can touch these dungeon plays.
No.
And you've only seen the icing on the cake, dude. You haven't even been in
there's 24-man raids. There's fucking solo content that can be challenging.
I can't even get into the raids yet because my item level is not high enough, and I'm a level 70.
There's a lot. There's a lot in this game. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, thank you, Hop, for stopping in. Yep. And as always, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystic's MMOs, and have a nice day.
Ooh, my dungeon's ready.